Welcome back to Journey Alberta. I'm Sean. Today I'm going to be talking to you about some behind the scenes stories that happened while I was out shooting some videos. Like I just said, today I'm going to be talking to you about some things that happened while I was out making videos, behind the scenes I guess, that maybe I didn't share during the video or something like that. So to get started on the Little Elbow camping trip that I went on this year, my girlfriend Danae and I, we arrived at the site, we set up our tent, everything like that, got everything ready, and in the video, I think after that we go down to the Elbow River. But what happened in between that is we realized that we forgot extra clothes, medications, basically everything that was in our suitcase. I left it at home by accident when I was packing everything up. So we had to drive all the way to Bragg Creek, and that was the reason we went to the Elbow River actually. We stopped there was because we went into Bragg Creek to get some Tums, toothpaste, a couple cheap toothbrushes. We forgot everything. I think some Advil just in case. Yeah, we forgot everything basically to do with like clothes, toiletries. Toilet paper we didn't forget that day though, but we forgot a lot of stuff. The next one I'll tell you about happened in the Castle Provincial Park when I went camping there in, I believe it was September with my friend Jesse. We go on a camping trip once a year, and this was our camping trip. Normally we go to Waterton in July, but this one got pushed a little bit further out because of Danae being sick in the summer. So with that one, and this actually kind of talks about, well, if you watched last week's video on the Pearson State Park and the Bow Habitat Station, I did briefly mention in that video that I've been kind of sick, dealing with some stomach sickness for the last 6 months, maybe more. I mean, yeah, maybe more actually now that I think about it. And so Jesse and I went on this camping trip. I was fine the first day. We were actually going to do a hike to the top of Table Mountain in Castle Provincial Park. That ended up not happening because I forgot my hiking shoes. We ended up going to Castle Falls instead, which was really cool, really fun experience. But in the middle of the night, I woke up with, it's like these egg burps. That's the only way I can describe them. They like taste and smell like rotten eggs because food in my stomach is like not digesting. So I was throwing up all night, and maybe if you watch that video you can kind of tell in the second morning that maybe I don't look 100%. I didn't say anything on camera because I was trying to focus on making the video. And that's the reason actually too that we were gonna do a different hike that day before leaving Castle Provincial Park, but I wasn't feeling good, so we ended up leaving and we went to Lundbreck Falls instead. That's at the end of that video. So that's actually why we went to Lundbreck Falls, because I was really sick with some stomach stuff. This isn't so much a behind the scenes story as it is me talking about how I shoot some of my videos, but I thought I would share it with you guys regardless. So in the summer and spring and fall when it's nice out, I actually use, you can see it there, an electronic stabilizer. Basically, makes my shots really nice and smooth. Is the battery dead? Yep, the battery's dead. So basically what it does is I turn it on here, and then it basically, camera sits on that, and it automatically stabilizes itself once I've balanced it and stuff. So it's really nice to have, but it's a bit heavy, so a bit cumbersome, and I actually have a bad tennis elbow in both my elbows from playing tennis when I was younger. And so sometimes it makes it act up. So I don't know if you've noticed, but in some videos you'll actually see me wearing a brace on one of my arms, and that's why. But in the winter, because the electronic stabilizer, I don't like to use it in the winter because you shouldn't really operate it below freezing. I use what I've had for years, this. This is basically like a manual stabilizer. It's by the brand Glide Cam. It's the XR1000, so perfect for my camera. And I have a little kind of hot shoe mount right there. So I screw something into the back or the bottom of my camera, pops this right on, and then it's stabilized, and I can kind of do it that way. The only thing is, the biggest difference between the two of these, other than one being electronic and one not, is this one is very affected by the wind, whereas the electronic stabilizer one kind of compensates for that. So put that down there. So that's kind of a little bit of background actually on what I use on different times of the year to shoot videos. So alright, so for the last kind of story, behind the scenes story here, I thought I'd kind of give like an overview because, at least in my mind, it's a little interesting. It was a bit of a, I guess, conundrum I had to kind of think up, kind of ways to get around, which was Danae and I did a lot of camping in August into September. I think we went camping 5 times, maybe it was 6. I can't remember offhand, but we went camping 5 or 6 times, and I went with Jesse once. Basically like 5 or 6 weeks in a row of camping for me. It was awesome. But the problem with that for me, at least when I was initially starting, like doing the first couple videos, is I'm doing all these camping videos, but I want to still make sure each individual video has its own kind of distinctness, if that makes sense. So when I'm doing a camping video, you know, you're obviously going to be sitting around in the campground sometimes. So I kind of tried to limit those shots and kind of planning out between the different videos and getting certain shots of the areas, say like Ram Falls or Crimson Lake, getting the shots of specifically Ram Falls and Crimson Lake to make those videos more unique. And what we actually did too was, for almost each of our trips that we went on, we tried to eat something different every trip so that it would be different, not only for us because it was interesting, but also for the video because, you know, it'd probably be a little boring if I went camping for 6 videos in a row, did 6 videos in a row of camping, and we're just eating hot dogs every single video. I wanted to spice it up a bit, and plus it can get a little boring sometimes just eating hot dogs out there. So we had tacos, we had steak, we did have hot dogs, we had a variety of stuff like that, and planning that out from the beginning it was kind of tough because I wasn't sure initially for those first couple videos, which would have been Little Elbow and maybe Ram Falls were the first 2. For those kind of couple videos, I wasn't exactly sure how to kind of make it so that they would be unique, but after that, kind of just fell into a rhythm. I kind of knew exactly after that for like the Interlakes camping video in Kananaskis that I did, that would have went up a couple weeks ago, for something like that, or when Jesse and I went camping in Provincial Park. So by the time I got to the videos like that, I kind of had a good feel for it. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching. I really enjoyed talking about some behind the scenes stuff to do with Journey Alberta. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments down below. I will definitely do another one of these videos in the future because there's always something I can talk about behind the scenes, thankfully, and hopefully you guys have found it interesting. I enjoy talking about it. It's a little different than my normal videos, but you get to know me a little bit more and what I do kind of behind the scenes when I'm making these videos. So subscribe if you aren't. I would really appreciate it. I'll see you next week.